Welcome to the Niger on the Ball podcast, where we are on the ball with the people that know. As I mentioned, we'll be bringing you special guests with insight and experience from inside the football and sports industry who want to share their knowledge with everyone. Today, we have got two very special guests. We have got Coach Jamiu and Coach Ayere, both two very special upcoming coaches here with us from Nigeria. I'll let them introduce themselves since I don't want to do too much talking. We can start with you, Coach Ayere.
All right. My name is Coach Ayere Sylvester. I'm the current head coach of Frieburgerweg FA based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm from Edo State. As you can know, Edo decided today, so I'm from Edo State. I'm from Edo State, Esa North East local government to be precise. So it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And Coach Jamiu?
All right, my name is Jamiu Isa Sylvester. I'm currently the head coach of Dominion Hotspur Football Club, a semi-professional team located in Surulere, Lagos, with young and talented players between the ages of 16 to 21 years. And I'm a certified primary school coach educator, English FA Level 1, and also PE instructor and vice president of youth sports initiatives. So I've been coaching for 10 years and I got satisfied by the English FA. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Just to get things started, I'm sure, a question that people always have from the beginning. Why did you get into coaching? What was it that brought you into coaching? We can start with Coach Jamiu this time. You can answer first.
All right. All right. I'm into coaching to make a difference and to be a role model to players and also to community coaches as well. I was fortunate to play under a British Council project called CATS. That's a community action through sport. And I thought it's only about football. Okay, until when I go to the club and I saw they combine both football and coaching. We do sport leadership and dreams and things. So different programs, right? And I was introduced to coaching early anyway, because as we play, we also go into other programs like sport leadership and dreams and things. We go to schools to teach sports prefects in school how to become sport leadership. And we had so much that we do in CATS projects, because it's a project under British Council and it's lasted for about 5 years. Okay, and I got into coaching very early in my career. As I'm playing, they introduced us to coaching, and I fall in love as I was playing. So I was privileged to go into coaching early, and I can see from what I'm doing now that I pass through from basics in coaching, and it's pretty, because it's very easy for me to transit from playing football and going into coaching, because all players have a desire to play professional football, but I got injured and I stopped coaching and I stopped playing football. And I just told myself that I still want to be in the game and I want to make a difference. I want to be a role model to players out there. At times you go around and you see the way some coaches in the community treat players, not being fair on them, because these players come around, leave their parents to come and learn the game. But the reverse is the case for some coaches. So it's because they don't know, and what you don't know, you can't impart to them. So I thought about it that me going into coaching fully, since I have the basis from beginning, and I can't play football again. Injury stopped me from playing. So let me fully go into coaching and change the perspectives of the community coaches. And right about now, I'm into coaching, not only into coaching, I'm coach a pickup. I've trained about 500 coaches in the community, on what they need to do to train kids. Kids are there to have fun, and they need to have fun, because when you have fun, you learn. And that's the reason why I'm into coaching.
Thank you for that, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester?
Yeah. For me, I wouldn't want to use the word enter coaching, because actually I grew up into coaching. What am I trying to say? I've been coaching right from the normal street football that we normally play. I used to be the one that used to organize and coordinate. Right from childhood, age 3, 4, 5, play the street football. You really want to coordinate, breed race, correct, and everything. So that part of always want to, do the coaching and everything has been there. So when I got to Pepsi Football Academy, I was more interested in what the coaches are saying than what the players are doing. And there's that inner feeling to only want to see players do the right thing. Not forgetting that I was also a player, but I have more passion watching the coach do their thing than watching the players do their thing. So because of that, I always have this unsatisfiable desire from the coaches around then, especially because I grew up Kaduna State, and because of my love for high standard coaching, of which I wasn't getting Kaduna State, I couldn't join anything in Kaduna State. So I resort to YouTube, download video, Pep Guardiola, then just to see what they're doing. I started coaching myself. So it's more like I was my first project as a player and a coach. But then as I was growing into it, playing Pepsi captain, at the point, one of the coaches in Pepsi have that full confidence to, okay, it's like, yeah.
Let me, I think it's slightly behind the connection. Let me just wait for him. Okay, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Back. All right, go ahead.
So as I said, so back then Pepsi, I have this coach who have this confidence in me to handle the under 14, even though I was still in the under 14 category. It's like Coach Sylvester, just go do the passage drill, and you just tell me what to do and what to do. You just leave me. So he had that confidence in me. So as I was growing the game, my passion for coaching keep increasing, and my passion for high quality training keep increasing. So at the point where it's like I have more passion in coaching than playing. But then I was able to just finally decide when I went for my trials in Tunisia. Try his luck in Tunisia. He's able to focus on playing. I was so fascinated with the coaching crew. I was so, okay, this is it. You're a coach. Just focus on. I was like, this is it. You're a coach. Because I was telling, okay, there's a friend of mine from Togo. So there's this club went for a trial. I was telling the guy that they're going to sack this coach. This coach, after 3 months, they're going to sack him. I was like, why? I said, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Behold, after three matches, he was sacked, and the coach was from France. And then the passion keep increasing. Like, okay, you have more eyes in details. You have more passion in coaching. You see loopholes in a game situation easily. You're able to interpret easily. So why not just make it your goal, like make it your career at early stage. So I started a bit of coaching in Tunisia, this working in the school. I was the head coach there. So then I thought to myself, okay, if I want to do this coaching properly, I need to make it professional. So I have to come back to Nigeria because I couldn't do my coaching course in Tunisia because of the language barrier, the French and everything. So I had to come back to Nigeria, ask a few questions around. Obviously, I was discouraged. You are too young. You're a very good player. Why do you have to go to coaching? You should go and play after playing, come back to coaching, stuff like that. But it became a nightmare. I couldn't sleep. The quest to just start coaching was so deep that I had to make a decision. And that prompted me to start my own academy early, which is Ayere Soccer Academy in Kaduna. So I just, okay, see, this is what I want to do, and people don't seem to understand me. Okay, let me start my own academy. That's how I started in Kaduna. Before I know, the league players started coming around for me to train them, give them personal drills. Maybe if you're coming back from injury, you call Coach Ayere to come and put you through like a rehab. Before I started having teams, from 10 of us become 15, 20. We just train, go and play the best in Kaduna, we'll beat them. Like, wow, this is good. They're playing good football. So I became more satisfied. There was that satisfaction and everything. But then I got my first job as unqualified coach then in Kaduna to coach a team. But I noticed the disrespect was too much. They talk to you anyhow because they feel you don't have the qualification yet. So they're just doing you a favor. So I needed to change that mentality somehow. Like, you're not doing me a favor. We're doing each other a favor. I'm coaching your team. So I need that respect. But at the point, I just have to make a decision to go for a coaching course. That's the only way I can grow in this career. That's the only way I can earn respect in this career. And that's the only way I can be more professional and speak authority. I can come up with a drill and say, this is Coach Ayere drill, because I have been certified to do so. So that prompted me to go for the NIS course, which is the diploma, that's the 2 years diploma NIS course. So from there, I got my second job in Epuzero. Now with much respect now, as youngest coach in Kaduna, this is it. This is the feeling. There's this satisfaction you get when after training, people will just send you a text message, coach, wonderful drill. And even though you have not, you feel satisfied. Like, yeah, this is it. This is it. Because there was so much, I don't want to use the word bad training then I was seeing growing up. I just feel these players are passionate about learning this football, but the coaches are not. I don't want to be too negative, but at the same time, this desire was not there to learn, and football was changing, football was revolutionizing, but they were just stagnant. The normal 20 laps, 11 aside, the play up and down. But I knew at that young age that this is not what these players need. They need to be tactical, they need to be technical, they need to understand the game. But the always complain of the Kaduna State. So I need to change that. Like, I need to change it. I knew I need to sacrifice my playing career for the coaching so that other people could actually enjoy good training drills. So that was it. So I got my second coaching job. I was able to prove a point. Like, this is how to coach players. This is what is obtainable. You need to read. You need to go to coaching school. You need to be qualified. Your dressing sense need to reflect professionalism. The way you talk need to reflect professionalism and everything. And since then, I've been growing. And now we are here in Lagos. So we are here in Lagos trying to really put a point. And currently now with Frieburgerweg, currently playing in Surulere League, which is the biggest platform right now in grassroots in Nigeria. And we are here to prove a point against Coach Jamiu.
Of course.
So of course, now that
so that is it. That's just the journey so far. That's just the journey.
So of course, now that you have established why you started coaching. Now that you have started coaching, what would you say is your best coaching attribute? What's the best part of your coaching? We can start with Coach
my
Jamiu.
best. Okay.
You can start with Coach Jamiu this time.
All right. I think my best attribute is planning and preparation. Okay, and that should come first with any coach. An effective coach should be able to plan for a session to meet the players and his players, adapt to the situation in a practice. So that should come first for a coach. For you to get it right, you need to plan and prepare. And the way the players see your session through you. So we are talking about psychological, tactical, preparation, and mental toughness. And every other thing falls under plan and preparation. Another thing, plan and prepare, that means you are organized. Okay. An organization comes with timing of your, session, the players, what are you doing with them, the resources you want to use for your practice, how you want to use it. And, you also need to be observant and be able to analyze your players and your session as well. It's very, very important. And me, I'm very good in observing my players and observing my environment as well. It's very, very important as a coach to know what is happening around you and also to analyze your players and also analyze the opposition. And, bring this information back to the players where they can give you a result. That's very, very important. And it's also in practice, you need to put the players at the center of learning process. It's very, very important. Okay, so let them get your information you are trying to pass to them, get feedback from them, involve them in your session. And before you know, you see that they are good to go. So you need to give players this ownership in their session and monitor their progress as well in session. And another one for coach is the evaluation. You should be able to evaluate yourself when you finish a session, or probably maybe by the end of the season. You need to evaluate and sit down, knows what you've done well, what has went well for you, and what you need to improve as a coach. So when you put this together and come back to the session, you are meant to succeed. And you should be able to self-review your own coaching session as well. So whenever I finish a session, there is no perfect session. So I always say improvement. When you sit down, when you sit back home, it might not be that day, it might be the second day. When you sit back home, you see the area where you can improve. Sit in front of the mirror and see that, okay, this is what these players have done well today. Okay, this is how I'm going to change this session, to meet their needs next time. And these are the attributes that a coach for me should possess.
Thank you for that, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester?
For me, my best coaching attribute, I would say, is my ability to change personality. You understand what am I trying to say? My players, I tend to relate to them based on different circumstances. I could be the coach that laugh. I could be the coach that is very strict. I could be the coach that want to listen to your problems, try to solve your problems. I could be the coach who know what you are passing through and try to advise you and stuff. That's one of my best attributes. Then others, I could say, yeah, I'm very good in reading details. Yeah, I'm very, very good in breaking down drills to the barest minimum. We take me to use Yoruba, little Yoruba I can speak, I use it to break it down, use Hausa, use Pidgin, just try to break down details. Because for me, I believe football is all about details. I believe every coach is good, every coach to his own capacity is good. I believe every player to their own capacity, they are good. But what is missing is the ability for we coaches to break down details to them to understand. You understand? So, and that I do it effortlessly. And that should be one of my best attributes. Then others, I know I could be a very good motivational speaker. I could motivate a dead bone to believe like it can make a living. Yes, and because of where I'm coaching, because of the situation, because I tend to study the culture of the environment, the lifestyle of the players and everything, I just know that, okay, you just have to motivate these people. You just have to find the right ways. You just have to communicate to their spirit, to their soul, not that their body. You need to communicate to their spirit, because that is the only way for them to, because as a coach, you have your own tactics, you have your own belief, but you can't go to the pitch to play. So the players who are playing to reflect who the coach is, you need to reflect the coaching idea. Because when people come to the stage that say, this thing is good, their coach is good. The coach is not playing, it's the player that's reflecting the coach ability. So I always find that balance, to transfer what I have in my head to them. So I would say, yes, I'm a very good communicator. They are very good at that. I can convince you to don't believe and believe. I carry my own belief. And you see that they want to die in the pitch. They want to die. They want to play their heart out. They want to get injured for me, for that philosophy. They are so motivated. You know, so to me, these are just my key attributes. The other one that the coach will have patient, observant, feedbacks. Those are just, to me, those are secondary. But because of the way we find ourselves, this is Nigeria. You need to have those two things. A player who comes to the field has not eaten, and you want to, maybe it's your key player. You must motivate him to play. You just have to motivate him. You have no choice. You have to motivate him to play. And probably come to your coach and not get transport to go back out. So I probably able the coach to get transport to go back out. So you just have to say, guy, no worry. They just go for. You just have to do that. You need to speak to that spirit. That's that player spirit. So to me, that is my own best attribute. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us, coaches. So of course, now that we found out your best attribute, we have to get a bit more into your philosophy and style of coaching. So, if somebody asks what your coaching philosophy is, or how would you describe your coaching philosophy, and how would you describe your coaching style? And this time we can start with Coach Sylvester.
My coaching philosophy, I probably is becoming obvious now because it's just like my trademark, like my brand now. It's like my brand now. It's like that is proactive protagonist. That's my philosophy. Now, I know people have asked, what is this proactive protagonist? I say, come to the pitch and see. But now this is the first time I want to explain it. This is the first time I want to break it down. What is proactive protagonist? Why is it my philosophy? Now that's my lifestyle. Proactiveness. That has already been my lifestyle growing up. I don't wait. I take to do my first move. I plan for everything. I sit down, plan in details before I make any move. Like, I want to be in charge. I want to be in charge. I want to be in control. Whether I'm losing or winning, I just want to be in control. I don't like when you do something first, then I'll start reacting. I love you to be reacting to what I'm doing. So that's just the concept behind the proactive protagonist. So to make my player from the on-go of the match, we are in charge. We try to establish our philosophy. We try to dominate the game. We try to be in control. We try to make people forget their philosophy because every team has their own philosophy. We try to make you forget your own and start reacting to our own. That's why it's called proactive protagonist philosophy. And from my style of play, it's just a subset of the philosophy. It's a subset, which is aggressiveness, aggressive attacking football play. I love, since I'm the type that always want to be in charge, I break the fight to you. From the beginning of the match, war don't start to, you have to fight to the end. We fight. We are always attacking you. We are always attacking. You understand? And the style of play, I try to mix it up with quick movement of ball. Since my style is always high tempo, I try to sustain high tempo for 90 minutes. So for me to sustain high tempo for 90 minutes, the players must move the ball as fast as possible. I don't condition my player to play 1/3. I don't condition him to play 2/3. Just move the ball as fast as possible to the opponent's half. Let every build-up from back end up in the opponent's half. I don't care if it's over, goal kick. Let there be a start and a finish in split of 1 minute. So generally, style of play, aggressive attacking with great emphasis on quick movement of ball. So that is just the two.
Thank you, Coach Sylvester. Coach Jamiu?
Yeah, I think for me, there's what is called the coaching continuum. And this is a line along which an effective coach should be able to move, and in either direction. It just is depending on the situation. And this line that the coach centers, then we have the middle sectors, then we have the player centers as well. And the coach center is just simply means you are autocratic coach. Okay, it does all the talking. Tells the players what to do. Always keep the plan to yourself of the session. You understand, and make all decisions. So, and the middle sector is, planning session and shares the learning goals with the players, ask the players questions to help them focus on their learning, also involves them in the decision making and get feedbacks from them for their own performance. And me, I fall into the player center coach because I always give them ownership and, manage their mistakes. Okay, hear from them, their pains, what they are going through. Okay, and this is democratic in what we call democratic in coaching. So you ask the players about their priorities for coaching session and what motivates them. You involve them in decision making during your practice, and also encourage the players to self-review, their progress as well. And for me, as I gain confidence and experience, I try to work in a style that reflects the middle sectors and towards the right hand of the line. So me, I'm a player center coach because I want to have a good relationship with them, because it's only when you have a good relationship with them you get the best out of them. Sometimes I play with my players. You don't even know if I'm a player or if I'm the coach of the team. Sometimes I see people working and we'll be asking that who is the coach, and at my young age I'm coaching this team, and it's something that is good for me. Okay, that is interesting. Few years back I don't even know I'm going to be in this position, because I was going through academic coaching before I took the job. So basically my own philosophy is to try and create an environment where players are not afraid to make mistakes, and to build that atmosphere where success is predictable, where success is always going to happen. And when you get close to players, they want to listen to you, they want to play for you, they want to play with their heart, because you are very close to them, because you are on the same page with them. And, for me, I get the best out of my players, and it's been working for me. So that's my own philosophy and the style of coaching.
Thank you for that, coach. So of course, a question I'm sure you are often asked is, we all have people that we aspire to, people who influence us, people that inspire us to do the best or do better than we're doing. And there's many coaches who are at the top level, who have that influence. So of the top coaches around, whether in Nigeria or around the world, who are the coaches who influence or who you aspire to as a coach? We can start with Coach Jamiu this time.
Yeah, for me, so many coaches inspire me. It all depends on what I'm learning from each coach. But whenever I go into the field, I'm talking about Nigeria and I'm not talking about foreign. Whenever I go into any field and I saw coach working, I try to learn one or two things from me. So I try to look at what is doing right rather than what the coach is doing wrong. So anywhere I went to, I try to pick something up. I have some coaches that I'm looking up to in Nigeria too, who are my role models, who are like a five figure to me. I play under them, so I try to pick one or two things from them that they are doing right. So I don't want to talk about their wrongdoing now, okay? But I always look at positive in people, what people can do, than what the wrong thing that they are doing. So, you know, I learn every day, and knowledge is power if you try to impart it to others. And for the foreign coaches, I look up to Guardiola. In fact, my players call me Pep Guardiola, but I told them I'm not Pep Guardiola, but I'm the future one. Call myself. It's because they can see that picture, the way I do things. You know, I'm very strict. I can be very strict sometimes because I want to get the best out of you, and you know, I want result always as well. So I combine this together, right? Looking at what Guardiola is doing too. I don't really read some of his book, but you know, I don't know why they call me that. You know, so I learn from different coaches, and I have my own style too. So I don't want to be like them, but I want to be the best version of myself. And this is how player can see. So I don't want to be like Guardiola or be like Mourinho or some other coach. But I just want to be myself and you know try and do my best for the players and see their development and improvement, which is very very important. And this is the only thing that can prepare them for future. Okay, and that's the way I want to see them.
Thank you for that, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester.
The future one.
Thank you.
For me. Before I go to who I've influenced by coaching style, I at the time when I was still more passionate. I'm still passionate. I try to study some of these Nigerian coaches. Let me see their style of play. Because I really have idea of how I want to play, how I want to establish myself. Because generally, Coach Ayere is not just a coach; it's a brand. It's a brand name. Coach Ayere is a brand I'm pushing. The name Ayere, so it's already a brand already. So I trying to study some of the Nigerian coaches to see, okay, who this coach reflects my ideology, methodology. I couldn't see anyone. I couldn't get information online. I couldn't get videos of their matches. And because I'm not close to them personally to study them, so that kind of make the Nigeria selection of blank in my head. I'm still looking forward to a coach I can study in Nigeria anyway. I'm keeping a close eye on Bagada FC. At least that I can see him. I can go and watch his game. I can chat him up to him and he answer me. So I'm studying his own philosophy. But for now, coaches that have actually directly or indirectly influenced my idea is Mourinho. That always confessed. Yeah. Mourinho always confessed. Then Klopp, then Pep. Now, these are the three coaches that I've studied their goals, their training session, their match preview, their post-match review, their normal life outside the field, and it kind of reflects the proactive protagonist tactics. As I said in my previous question, proactive protagonist is a combination of quick play, which is that the typical Guardiola possession play, then the typical Mourinho, try to be in charge, perfect game plan for every match. He doesn't assume. You have to sit down, plan everything in details, try to predict the outcomes. Then the club, which is the aggressive attacking style from Dortmund. So these three coaches actually influence my own philosophy for now. Until I see a Nigerian coach that will come up, like I can easily go on YouTube and I will see his breakdown of tactics. I can watch, stay all night, study every tactics. I can click on so person. Let's say, for example, I can just type Coach Jamiu training drills. I can just pump up on YouTube. I don't need to know Coach Jamiu. I don't even need to see you, but I should be able to know what makes Coach Jamiu the future one. Let me see his work on YouTube. Let me be able to study his drill and see his result. And that's okay. I think I like the way he organizes defense. I should take part of that. But for now, Nigeria is black for it. Not my fault anyway. It's because they didn't make the information available online. So for now, those three coaches are my influencer. Today, as it tomorrow said, that's my influencer.
Thank you for that, coaches. I think I can definitely agree with you on that point. I think in Nigeria we need to share our philosophies and our coaching understanding more, so that even people outside can see that there are real coaches here in Nigeria, people who understand the game, people who know how to apply the concepts of the game and the principles, and people who maybe even in future are able to take positions in foreign clubs if they want to. Maybe places like South Africa and Egypt. But at this moment in time, because we are not transparent, we are not too open with what we have here. People don't know what we have. That's why, one of my favorite coaches has always been Stephen Keshi, because he was the one coach who was brave, and he said to himself, you know what, maybe the opportunities are not here in Nigeria. So then he went to, I think it was Zambia, and then he went to another country outside Nigeria, and then he built a big name for himself. And then later, when Nigeria called him, that is when he accepted. And he came back and he proved to people that I can coach. This is what I can do. So it's very important that we become more open, that we develop a culture of sharing and being open with other people. So this is very important. So coaches, now that you have coached for a bit, what will you say if somebody was to ask you, what is your most memorable memory, or what is something that is very memorable since you have started coaching? Something that sticks in your mind that says that this is something that I hold in high regard. It could be a trophy, it could maybe be a player that you have developed, maybe a club that you have promoted, maybe a team that you have gone unbeaten, maybe a record that you hold. We can start with Coach Jamiu.
Yeah, thank you. I think the most memorable moment for me was when I got satisfied by the English FA. I got my level 1 in 2002. And recently, earlier this year, when I also got satisfied by the Premier League coach educator. So right now, I'm in coach educators. And like I said earlier on, I've trained up to like 500 coaches in the grassroots level. So I think that was my, memorable moment, because some of my colleagues want to, get that level, and, they couldn't. They tried their best, and, they wish to have a level 1 as well, but they couldn't. And, that's really touched me. So it's something that, I feel for them. And I was so happy, getting it, because it's not easy. Okay, you have to read and read, you need to assimilate, you need to understand, you have to present and all those things. And it's a lot of hard work. Okay, I've never seen, I've seen people going to school, to read, to get satisfied, but in coaching, it's the same thing as well. I just have to be the best. So I try to listen very well, get all the details from these foreign coaches, because I was trained by the Premier League coaches since from the beginning of my career when I was playing for Cards till now. So I was just privileged to be very close to British Council projects, and I was trained by these foreign coaches. So that's why you can see that in my coaching and the way I apply things and do my things. So it was since then, I started having more interest in coaching, especially when I got my FA level 1. Having interest in coaching, love imparting knowledge to people, sharing materials, to some of these coaches, so that they can also understand what coaching is all about, and especially how to make their sessions safe and fun for children. Because we need to get it from the grassroots. We need to get it right. Our kids need to have fun and at the same time learn in a safe environment. Okay, some of them suffer going for training and coach beating them up, which is not right for me. So when I go to this field, I try to call these coaches, invite him, have a one-on-one session with him, share some materials in how to do things, and they appreciate. They appreciate. So I think that was my memorable moment when I got satisfied and my colleagues wished to get the level one, they couldn't. And if I remember that, it was one of my best memorable moments. The other one was when I joined Dominion Hotspur, and in 1 year, I was able to transform the club, the team, into one of the best in Surulere to reckon with. So I started gradually. Okay, when I got into the team, the players was like, what is it going to offer? Because some of them are even older than me. At first, when I got to the team, so they were like, but I prepared my speech because first impression lasts longer in front of the players. So when I walk into the team, I tell them my philosophy, how I want things to be done. And in a year, we played two finals. But unfortunately, we lost the two. In Trem Cup, especially the Trem Cup, but that was the most painful part because everybody gave us that chance to win. But the thing is, I could be able to transfer my philosophy, my style to the players, and I could see the results in 1 year with them. I think that was something that I will never forget. So it pushes me that I'm doing something right, that I'm doing something right with the players, and I can see the development because some of them, when I came in, they started going for trials. When scouts come around, they will see players and take them, which is not something that is that the club normally. So the ability to try to take the players to the next level is what I really enjoyed. That was a memorable moment for me.
All right. Thank you, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester.
Mine is. Let me just narrow it to just two or three. First
Just,
one I can
just
never
give us
forget.
two, just for the time. Just two.
Okay, okay. Let me just give it two. The one I can never forget, not even when I become the best coach in the world, is my unbeaten record in Ekuzero. Given the fact that Ekuzero then they were the best academy in Kaduna State. So for me to coach Ekuzero in Kaduna and play 25 matches and unbeaten till I leave, I didn't face any defeat. That was something I can never forget. And the second one was in Lagos. My boss, which is based in Germany, told me that a scout is coming from Denmark. That he has heard so much about Nigeria producing players. People come to Denmark and play. That he wants to come and see them by himself. Like he wants to come and see the player. He wants to come and see the environment. So he came to Nigeria, lodged around stadium that is really lodged there so I can be watching all matches playing legacy, So he came, he watched several matches, even the league game. I don't want to mention names so that it won't be as if I'm being negative, right? He watched the league games at the Teslim Balogun Stadium. They came to my training session to observe my training. They were like, wow, that man, the way you are training these boys, if they come to Europe, they will not have problem. Now it didn't stop there. So we had a match with against Oasis for him to come and watch. Like, okay, come and see us playing a match now. And after the match, we went for a lunch. And like, Sylvester Ayere, one, you are very young, very, very young. I'm really, really impressed because he's also a youth coach, a very high, respectable youth coach in Denmark. He made a comment I will never forget. He said, Coach Ayere, I don't know if I'm being too optimistic. I said, let me just tell you this. I think you're one of the best in Lagos. I've watched several teams play. I've watched league professional play. I think your players are more creative. They are more dynamics. And to me, I think I wrote that statement there in my room. Like, okay, if I wake up, like, you're one of the best in Lagos. So to me, that has been my memorable day.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Coach Jamiu and Coach Sylvester. So the first part of me speaking to you I wanted to make it about your own background, about understanding you as a coach. The second part is specifically about the Surulere League. Of course, the Surulere League is upcoming, and everybody's really excited about it starting again and about all of the teams that are going to be involved. There's more teams than ever involved. So, of course, let's start with your current team. How did you get to your current team, or did they contact you? Did you apply? Did somebody recommend you for the role? And what attracted you as a coach and as a person to that specific club? What is it about the club? Is it the way maybe you spoke to the chairman and the way he described his ambition matched your own ambition? Is it the structure that they have in the club that matched what you are looking for? Or is it the location? What was it about the club that attracted you? We can start with Coach Jamiu this time.
All right, thank you. My current coaching role has been the progression I'm looking for in my career. And after, I've gone through the academic coaching, it has been fun and challenging as well. Because you have to plan and prepare sessions that suit the need of the players and face the reality of coaching semi-professional team where you have to manage every department in the team. Like social media and players' attitude, you do everything. So it's a big challenge for me, and I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm doing. I used to have a session every Saturday at the member of the National Stadium with Academy I manage. That's the HCC Academy, which is the FD Talent Football Academy. But, not knowing that the CEO of Dominion Hotspur comes around to jog on the track, exercise, and he used to watch my training session. I don't know. He used to stay somewhere, watch my training session, how I speak to the boys and so. So he approached me and he said, which I love what you're doing. I've been watching you for a while now, and I want you to coach my team. I was shocked and surprised, and I told him, sir, please, I have to think about it. Let me think about it, whether if I'm ready to take the job. And spoke to some of my coaches that I look up to, and they told me that they said, boy, you are ready. You can take it, and you learn from there. And that's how it all started with Dominion Hotspur. So, it's a big challenge to me, and, I rise up to it. And so far, it's been good. It's been great.
Thank you, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester.
Mine, I will just be very brief. But I got my coaching job with this connect club based on recommendation. The player I coached in Kaduna moved to Lagos, joined the team. He was so passionate about me coming to coach the team. So that's how I got it based on recommendation. And the interesting part, I've not seen my boss for the past 2 years because it's based on I'm a Lagos. It's just based on result. It's based on result that's keeping us going. That's it. That's how I got my first. That's how I got this current job based on recommendation.
So of course, with both of you, so teams all have different targets, different goals for in a season. So we just want to ask you about what is your own goals or what is your targets that you have for this season. I know some teams, maybe they are coming into the league, maybe you've lost a couple players, maybe you've only just recruited these players, so you're only just starting to gel together as a team. So maybe you are just looking to establish yourself within the league. Some other teams, maybe their players have been together for a long time, and they want to challenge for the title or they want to get promotion. Some other teams, maybe you are looking to develop players to sell, or you have a certain target that the chairman has set you. What is your goals? What's your goals for this season, this upcoming Surulere League season? You can start this time with Coach Sylvester.
My goal is simple and direct. There are just two. One, personal goal. Second one, general goal. My own personal goal I want to achieve in Surulere League is to establish my philosophy, that's the proactive protagonist. Because I know if at the end of the league we're able to do something great, that philosophy become a trademark, it become a brand on its own. So that is my own personal target, to establish that philosophy. Then also to repeat what I did with Echo Zero, because I'll be playing 9 matches in the league. I want to go unbeaten. That is my personal target. That's my obsession, to go unbeaten in those 9 matches. In those 9 matches, I know it's going to be a difficult task, but it's achievable. I've done it before in 25 matches, so I want to do it in 9 matches. Those are just my personal target. Then for the team target, it's for them to play good football. This is the first time we are playing Surulere League. Definitely, we want to establish ourselves. We want to develop the boys. And because of my obsession for winning and playing good football, so it's 3 of them I want to achieve at the same time. We are going to establish Frieburgerweg as a team to reckon with. We are going to win. At the same time, the players want to develop every match they play. I want to keep increasing their game, confidence. The goals should be increasing from 1, 2. We should be able to beat 18 5-0. That's my target. We should be able to beat 18 5-0, 4-0. Play good football. Let's hold possession for like 2 minutes. Not be in charge. Those are my targets in the league. Yeah, these are my major targets and for the team target.
All right, thank you, Coach Sylvester. Coach Jamiu?
Yeah, for me, I also have personal mission and club mission. And the personal mission is to introduce myself to the world, because the league this season, we have a lot of partners, media involved. So I want to introduce myself, let them get to know my philosophy, my principles of play, which is something different this season that we are going to apply. Then the club mission, okay, is the goal to surpass what we did last season in the Surulere Regional League, which is one of the best leagues in Nigeria. We topped our table last season and go to the playoff and lost in the semi-final. And our aim this season is to do well and probably, win the trophy and, get some players scouted through the league as well, because, a lot of scouts abroad will be coming around, the game will be online, live, and, so let them get scouted. That's why we prepare them for future abroad. And this is in the league is going to be massive, as we have a local and foreign partners that are coming in, key sponsors, media, stakeholders, and like I said, all the games are live, and they're going to be online for foreign scouts to see our players and what they can do. So the target is to win for the team, also to develop as a player and to expose them to be ready for the future challenge.
Thank you for that, Coach. So of course, in any league, I think I think we all have ideas of which teams are the top teams, which teams are the championship chasing teams. When we start this new season, are there any particular teams that are in your mind that you are thinking, okay, this is a team that is going to be a tough one for us to face in this Surulere League? I know most teams are tough, but in your mind, I know there's a particular team which maybe you have seen them play and they play good football. And you just think to yourself, my team, I want them to match this team and I want them to beat them. In particular, there's a specific team. You can start with Coach Jamiu.
All right. You see, most of the team in the league, we are familiar with them. And we know their style of play and their pattern, except 1 or 2 clubs who are just coming new into the league. like Coach Ayere's team, Frieburgerweg. You understand? They're just coming in into the team. Though we play them in a friendly game. You understand? So at least I know little about how they play, on their style, their very physical side, good side, technically and tactically good. And one of the greatest too last season was the privilege to study our position before we play them and capitalize on their weaknesses and disrupt their game plan and also play to our strengths. And this helps us win so many games. And we top our table not by mistakes. Is by hard work. It's by hard work and our commitment to what we do. Because some of the coaches doesn't care whether to go and study an opponent or not, but we sacrifice our time, we sacrifice our energy to do that. So it's going to be more tougher this season than last season, okay? Because of the media paparazzis and stakeholders coming in, and I'm looking forward to it. Most especially, I'm looking forward to Goshen Star. They are the winner last season. And their coach, after they won the game, I think they went for interview and at League. So he was saying that we are inexperienced, we exhausted our energy during the normal game, that during the playoff we couldn't have energy to run it. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I've tagged when we are going to play. I'm going to tell the press that this is a game between experience and inexperience. So I'm really preparing. I'm really preparing for that game. You understand? Because of that particular statement. So I want to make a statement that we are not inexperienced. We are actually experienced people. I have young team and we are good to go. Right?
That's that. Thank you, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester.
Let me use the word JJC. Johnny just come to Lagos, so I don't really know. I don't really know much teams in Lagos. Considering the fact that we are playing Surulere for the first time, so I don't want to say this is the team I want to beat. This is not the team I want to beat. But what Coach Ayere knew and what Frieburgerweg knew is we want to go on beating the 9 matches. That means I want to beat every team. Because I want to beat every team and I don't have information. See why grassroots coaching is difficult in Nigeria. If it was in the balance system, I can easily just, domino us, but 5 matches, I can study them online and game plan. It make matches interesting. But now you are blank, you are planning, you are training your own, so training his own, we come and meet. So now what I'm trying to do is perfect all my details. Let's go and play. We don't know what they are bringing. Probably, so let me just digress a little. Like the match I played, the friendly match I played on Friday, Broad City, the preseason. I have no idea who was Broad City. I've never seen them before. So the first 15 minutes, we were struggling because I was trying to gather information the first 15 minutes. Okay, this is how they attack, this is how they do that job. I was able to sharp adjust the team in that 15 minutes because I was able to get information from live game. And it's something I was supposed to have like maybe 2 weeks ago and study, but I was able to get it on the field of play. I was able to now switch my own tactics a bit to now come their own. What am I trying to say? It's going to be difficult for us because I don't know these things. I don't know how they play. I don't know their best player. I don't know their dangerous striker. So what I just have to do is just to train my team very hard to try to control every outcome. So any team is going to be tough for us. That is just it.
So, I want to find out a bit more about the way your own club operates, or maybe the way you operate as a coach. So, in your coaching environment, what type of coaching setup do you have? What type of do you have? How many coaches are assisting you? Do you have scouts? Do you have what do you have assisting you? To in order for you to succeed? Who is helping you? Do you have a small team? Do you have a big team? Do you have more experienced people assisting you, or do you have young, hungry coaches assisting you, or how is it in your own coaching environment? This time, let's start with Coach Jamiu.
All right. We have a small setup of coaches, right? We are not a big team, and I would say they are still learning, right? Some of my colleagues that are working with me, and they are still learning, and so we have coaching, small coaching team. They are also certified Premier League coaches, but not coach educators, young and vibrant, and ready to learn and develop as well. So we also have scouts that scout for the team, okay, both east and we have them in north and all over. But I think my coaching crew, I'm okay with them and satisfied with what we've achieved last
Coach
season,
Jamiu,
and
sorry,
what
let
we are
me
going to achieve this
sorry,
season.
Coach Jamiu, let me just sorry to interrupt you just there. I want to find out a bit more. So, do you have an assistant coach? Do you have a goalkeeper coach, fitness coach? What type of setup do you have?
Okay, so we are three. Okay, we are three working in the team to have assistants. Then the other one is the fitness coach. So we don't have a goalkeeper trainer. It's just three of us. So the goalkeeper train themselves. So what I told them was go online, look for drills. You understand? You have 30 minutes in every of our session, so you can do your thing yourself. Okay, because we don't have resources now. So let's manage what we have. So, and that's the only way we can manage what we have, because the coach will be sometimes in training. I might be working with midfielders and strikers. He might be working with the defenders. The other one might be taking care of some other things, or sometimes working with the goalkeepers as well. So we share these roles, but like I said, I'm a player center coach, and I give them that responsibility. So how do I manage things around in training? Is giving them that ownership. So go online, do research yourself, come. So let me see what you are doing. So sometimes what I do is when the goalkeeper is training themselves, I try to come in, okay, and tell them, based on my knowledge that okay, yeah, do this, do that. But the most important thing is I know that they've done the research and they come out with new drills always. And when they finish, I call them and ask them, what have you guys done today? And they will tell me. So we sit down and look at the areas they can improve. At times when we finish playing, I tell them that, these are the things that you need to work on. Probably in the next training, those are the things that you need to research for, go online and check how you can improve on that. And that's where we manage ourselves in the team.
Thank you, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester?
Well, it's a very small coaching crew. Very, 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 very small. It's just me. It's just me and my assistant coach. It's just me and my assistant coach. Then one media person. Then the TM. Then, but funny enough, the assistant coach is not as strong as me. It's a bit old. Not old, but it's age. Let's just say above 50. So it kind of, okay, at the head coach, this man is your elder, so you need to balance the language, you need to balance the try to be professional, blah blah blah. But we'll be doing fine. We'll do fine. He's open-minded. Thank God for that. He's open-minded. He didn't carry the age factor, the age Africa factor in his head. I'm older than you. He's open-minded. He want to learn. And that has really been helpful, because I can just call him like my mate. I say, come, and all of that. Okay. He will just stand up and just okay. That has really been helpful, because I work with somebody who not your mate, you almost have me say, and I was head coach, so I know what I'm saying. He has really been helpful. Then for the side of the team, we got to make it very small. Actually, I'm training with very little equipment, very little. so very, very little. When I say I'm overstressing it a bit, so you try to, you have a training drill in your head. This is the standard of the training drill, and you look at the equipment you have. It's not even up to 10% of the training drill at the same time. But you want to achieve that training objective, so you have to now come down to what you have, probably maybe a constant, a ball. You get, and this is a training that involves so many phases and blah blah blah. So it's not be easy, but I think it's, for me as a coach that is developing, as actually be a learning platform. Try to do much with so much little. Try to create a sound team with so much little facility, bad pay, bad everything, but it has to be fair. So coaching structure, 2, head coach, assistant coach, no goalkeeper training. Because there's no goalkeeper training, I try to, that's why I say Mourinho is my person. I try to do more of tactical periodization. I involve keeper inside the play, come and learn to play, come and do the. I just believe that if a keeper does not use leg very well, the hand should be proven. That is how I've been pushing the team. If you even see my keeper, he can even play 9 because he trains as a striker, he trains as a defender, he trains as a midfielder. Because that's the only way I can survive in that play. Because I can't be teaching how to keep, teaching how to do this. No, it's only me. I can't come and die young. So that does it.
Thank you for that, coach. So of course, like I said, we want to really delve into your own coaching environment. So of course, we have to ask you about recruitment. In your team, what is the size of your football squad? What is the ideal size? What is the number in your head that okay, maybe this is too much, and this is the perfect number that I'm looking for, so that we have, if there's injuries, we have people that can cover them. If, if people are away, we have people that can cover them, and it's not too much where we are overtraining people and we don't have enough people. We have too many people and people are not able to play matches. So what is your squad size? And also, when you are recruiting players, what are you looking for? Is there a specific attribute, or is it a specific age group that you are looking for when you are recruiting players for your team? This time, let's start with Coach Sylvester.
For me, let me just start with the age. Since Frieburgerweg FA is a business team, we're not here to do charity or burn calories. We're here to make money. I want to buy a plane, So we have to sell players. We have to sell players. So the age is very, very paramount. So I work with people closely 20 downward, 21, top 22 downward. If you are age and you are good, I'm just okay, come and enjoy the training session and maybe push it to Nigerian League. But ideally, the philosophy of the team is 22 downward. Then for the size of the team, I'm just telling you this now. Preferably, I would love to work with 25 players. That is my own strength. But for the fact that you're a grassroots team where you find yourself, everybody wants to enjoy good training. They see you doing wonderful things. They beg, coaching, I make a join, I beg. And because where we are coming from, this is Nigeria. We try to, add them into the training drill. And you see, they are good. Actually, they have something to offer. Now you're not having 32 in training, 35. So you just have to come up with a drill that will accommodate them. But as I said, preferably, I would love to work with 25 players under a standard system. But since grassroots in Nigeria is not standard, so we need to understand our culture. This is Nigeria, this is Lagos, people plenty. So we just have to accommodate. We just have to accommodate the good ones. I hope, okay, we will not die while coaching them. So that does it.
Thank you, Coach Sylvester. Coach Jamiu?
Yeah, we have scouts that knows what we want in the team, knows the kind of qualities we want, from players, and we scout for young and talented players, with good heights and ages between 16 and 19 years, because we have a two team. We have the under 17s, then we have the under from 18 to 21 years as well. So, and we try these players for 2 weeks, and the coaching crew come into conclusion if they are going to develop, improve, or adapt to the intensity of our team. So our squad is basically 40. We have 20 players between the age of 19 to 21. Then we have the younger team, that's 18 down as well. So we have 40 players, and that's where we manage them. Because you can have, we also give the under 17 room to play tournaments. So if you have under 17, they go and play tournaments, and if they are good enough, we take them to under 17 to go and try national camp. So we combine both together. So we are looking at how we can help our national team, and at the same time, those that will go to abroad that are ready to go for trials and go and try. So basically, that's the size of our team for now.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Coach. Like I said, we really want to get into and delve into your own environment, your own understanding. So when we are watching the Surulere League this season, of course, people will be looking out for different things. They'll be looking out for the technical attributes of the players. They'll be looking for the excitement of the matches. They'll be looking for the goals, and then of course, there's also the tactics. So, as a coach, is there a specific formation that you favor? If so, what is it about that particular formation that you like, or that you feel like suits your style of play, or that suits the players that you have available to you? Yes. So, what is it about that particular formation? Let's start with Coach Jamiu.
Right. So last season we adopted 4-3-3 and 4-4-2 diamond formation last season. So this depends on the opposition and how we want to approach the game. Like I said, I'm privileged. I spend my time and energy to watch the opposition play, before our game. Because as a coach, you need to be able to get more information about who you are playing. And I've been able to do that. So that's why I said it's not a fluke that we top our table last season. So we adopted these two formations and it worked well for us. And we won 10 matches. We drew 5 and lost 1 game in the league. We scored total numbers of 34 goals and conceded 13 goals. And we top our table with 35 points. So same formation we are going to apply this season because the boys, they are used to it. They understand where to run. They understand what to do on the field of play. What is just going to change this season is just the attitude, the way we now approach the game this season will now be different. Because of the teams coming in now, teams are now prepared because of the media that were involved. Managers are getting involved now. So we are just changing it a little bit, their attitude and how they approach the game. So it has to be aggressive this time around. But for the formation, we are not changing the formation. We are still going to adopt that formation because it worked for us last session. I don't know the reason why I'm going to change that. It's still the same formation we are going to adopt this season.
Coach Sylvester?
For me, it's my own personal formation I'm still creating. That's why I say I'll be establishing myself in Surulere League. Okay, generally I'm usually working on because it's not yet established yet. 2-4-2-1-1-2. Slowly 2-4-2-1-1-2 formation. So it's a formation that captured the players' attitude, that captured their lifestyle, generally how they survive, because these are players who the only thing they have is hope. Trying to build a formation around what they can actually bring out their heart and die for. Understand? So I don't want to play the normal conventional 4-3-3, 4-4-2. You know, let me come up with something that can capture their strength. So that's the formation we'll be using, hopefully. So I hope it's and because of the fact that I love to play light at the back and play heavy up front. I don't like the idea of playing too many mans at the back while the battle is being won on the up front. So let's play more players to the up front. Let's keep the opponent busy in their own half, and let's keep our back light. So that is just the general formation we'll be playing: 2-4-2-1-1-2 formation. Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing that with us, Coach Jamiu and Coach Sylvester.
I'm giving you my secret to hope you know.
I'm also giving you mine.
So of course, a question that a lot of people are asking, as coaches, we have to deal with so many different things. One of the things that we could not foresee as human beings is the COVID. The COVID is something that we could not see. So during this COVID period, how have you been able to engage your players, and what have you been doing to engage them whilst we have all been away from football? I can start with Coach Jamiu this time.
All right, so we have a WhatsApp platform for the players, and we engage them through the platform, and it was quite fun for them because we make it fun. So first thing I did during the COVID period was I had a one-on-one discussion with them on video call, and first to check their welfare and how they've been keeping safe at home. This player coach relationship is very, very important, and they're happy. I check on them. So then, good time for us to it's a good time for the coaching crew to get feedback from the players as an individual and as a team. So we get our own opinion about the improvements as team that are what they need to improve. So I want them to reflect on their own performance last season. I ask them to reflect how they can improve when they come back. So then as a team as well, what do they think that we need to improve as a team? Giving them these players ownership. Because you can get if you listen to them very carefully, you see that you can learn a lot from your players. What you can see at times, they see it. Then we come up with sports quiz as well, and this COVID-19 five-a-side challenge. So on the platform, so you ask them to select their players, the team, where they select players from the team and discuss about the team strengths, and their chances of winning their own five-a-side. So we engage them tactically. We both engage them tactically and psychologically during that COVID-19. So at least so that's they won't be far away from the team. Okay, so they will know that we care about them, and so we still want them to be thinking about the game. So and we also send drills to them at home, to keep them in good shape, at least 60% fit. Some of them. So I asked them to send the video back to me before the government is a lockdown. So they do it, and I monitor them through that. So send it back to me, let me know what they are doing, because we know that immediately government is a lockdown. Things will start preparing for a program. Then I also share some videos, on their positional, position to them. I call it positional objectives, and how our principles of play this season, how we want to play, what we want to do. So I send it to them, and they read, and they also send their feedback to me. So I'm preparing them psychologically already at home, getting them engaged, and I get good information that can help the team from them. So that's why I keep I engage them during that period.
Thank you for sharing that, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester.
Yeah, for me, it was not really easy. Reason why I say it was not easy for me during the COVID-19, as I said, when I use that word, these are players that are hopeful. It's the hopeful actually capture a lot of things. It's like, okay, these are players that are not financially buoyant to even buy data to stay online. You get, and you can't do them anything. You can't blame them for that. This is what life has given them. So they're just trying to hold on to that hope. So at first, I tried to start the meta class, where we just pick a topic, let's say pressing in football. And I'll pick a moderator, we discuss. But I discovered that at times only one person will be online in a team of 25. So that I didn't achieve that. So I came up with another idea, okay, let me do the normal calling. Okay, I'll call each of them. Just, okay, do me one favor. Just stay fit. No matter what happens, just stay fit. So that when the football is back, I wouldn't want to bother myself with physical training again. I would just mix everything up and focus more on technique and tactics. So basically, that was what I was doing, try to sustain, because given the nature of the boys I am training, who are not financially that buoyant to stay online 24/7. So it's more of calling, keep fit, do sit up. As I say, I'm a very good motivational speaker. So what I do is just to call them, tell them why they need to stay alive, they need to stay in shape, they need to find that energy to push. Because at a point, they couldn't even feed themselves. So you have to tell someone who has not feed, come and buy data. So just have to understand these are the true story of these boys and try to provide a solution for them. But generally they're able to stay fit. I was glad during the COVID-19 they're able to stay in shape, keeping themselves fit. So that was what I was doing basically with them.
Thank you for that, Coach Sylvester. I understand that this COVID period has been very tough, and it's definitely important that as coaches that we continue to connect with our players, continue to to keep their hopes up, to continue to keep them motivated and on the correct path. So of course, like I said, we want to delve into you as coaches, you as people. What are your long-term goals as coaches? Like, what is it? Maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. What is the goal that stands out in your head that you want to achieve? We can start with Coach Jamiu.
Yeah, my long time goal for me, I don't really have so much in my head now, because I just take it a step at a time, focus on what I can control in front of me. So I would say like I said, I don't have anything in my head now. Just want to be the best version of myself, and never stop learning. So, and hopefully, I will get a chance one day, probably, to get a better job than where I am today. I don't know, but you know, my vision is to just take the team to a greater height and create that environment for them where success is always going to happen to them. Okay, and be the best version of myself. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester.
My long time goal is contagious. It's an obsession. First of all, I want to get my pro license, because I want to coach at the highest level. I want to coach in PL. I want to coach in the top league. And for me to do that, I need to have the right qualification. So that those are my obsession. Those are my goal. And because of me as a coach, I don't like to stay in a place for more than 2 years. At this my growing stage now, I'm obsessed with personal development. I'm obsessed with the right qualification. Okay, what does it take to coach in England? People like, okay, how do I get it? Those are my obsession. Those are my goal. Each year, I want to have one step closer to getting Pro A license and everything. So that's my. If I can get that, now you can ask me which club do I want to coach? I'll tell you Bayern Munich, Germany. I want to coach Lee. I want to coach in this country because I not have the qualification. So generally, as a young coach that's growing, as a coach who's obsessed with football and everything, for me to be relevant to this thing, I need to have the right qualification, and that is my long-time goal. Any other thing is secondary.
Thank you for sharing that, Coach Sylvester. Um, so of course, we have come to the end of our discussion, but just before we finish, so that the people listening can get, so they can go home with something to think about. Um, I want to ask you both. There's a lot of teams in the Surulere League. There's a lot of teams promoting themselves. There's a lot of media attention on different teams. But why should people who are interested in Surulere League or interested in football, or who just want to watch football, why should they watch your own team specifically? Why should they come and watch your own team specifically? And we will start with Coach Sylvester.
It's very simple and straightforward. Um, the, First of all, Surulere League, as it stands now, is the biggest grassroots league in Nigeria. That alone has already drawn the attention for people to want to watch. Now, for Frieburgerweg FA, you are coming to watch a team that is full of hope, a team that are ready to dive for that round of the game of play. You're coming to watch all the things you are seeing in Bayern Munich that make you be on Twitter talking about the 8-0 against Schalke 04. You will see it live in Surulere League. This, not minding the fact that this is a grassroots team, no matter if there are obstacles, there are barriers, you will see good football. If you're a lover of good football, you should keep an eye on Frieburgerweg, but definitely they are giving you good football, not just good football. Football that will make you like, wow, I really enjoy myself. Wow, is this Nigeria? Wow, are these people from Nigeria? Wow. Till lead the pitch. So that's just it.
Thank you for that, Coach Sylvester. Coach Jamiu?
Yeah, I'm about to unveil my own style of play, right? And it's something that is new. So the offensive and defensive tactical intensity. So you just simply made the approach in which the aggressiveness in which we approach the game, and it's very important. So this is we want to play with speed, with high intensity, with speed and every other thing that can make us win the game. So anybody who loves good football should come and watch the Hotspur play, and they will never regret coming, because we play total football with high intensity, and we have stars in our team. We have young and talented stars that are ready for the future, ready to play for this country. So I think we are a team to watch. We are second to none, and we are going to give them, a good game, and we are looking forward to the season. So we are good to go.
Thank you for that, Coach Jamiu, and thank you for that, Coach Sylvester. I'm sure everybody is excited for the new season of the Surulere League. There's so many teams who have now joined the league. There's so much media attention more than ever. So, it's a really exciting time, and I'm sure that the people listening will want to follow your coaching journey and your career progression as you continue to grow as coaches. Thank you both for joining me today. Just before we finish, for people that maybe want to ask you a question or they want to follow you on social media, what is the best social media to follow you on? Coach Jamiu?
So I'm on Twitter as Jamiu_Isa. Then on Instagram is Jamiu Isa, and on Facebook is Jamiu Isa as well. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on this journey, and I'm sure you don't regret, following me. I'll follow you back.
Thank you, Coach Jamiu. Coach Sylvester?
On Twitter and Instagram, Coach Ayere at Coach Ayere. Twitter, Instagram at Coach Ayere. Then YouTube page, Coach Ayere Sylvester. YouTube page, Coach Ayere Sylvester. Then Facebook, Ayere Sylvester.
Thank you.
Then LinkedIn, Coach Ayere Sylvester.
Thank you for joining me on this show. having you on this show and sharing your insight and your knowledge. It has really been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, it's no problem at all. For everybody that's listening, remember to like, remember to share, remember to leave a recommendation. Once again, this has been the Niger on the Ball podcast, where we are on the ball with the people that know. Thank you again for listening.